That's Curtis and Son Funeral Home. Your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home for burials and cremations. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg, 256-245-4361, Curtis and Son Funeral Home. Funeral service for Jerry W. Byram, age 74, will be Friday at 2 p.m. from Oak Grove First Baptist Church, with the Reverend Max Buttram and the Reverend Craig Byram officiating. Burial in the Green Hill Cemetery of Childersburg. The body will lie in state 1 hour prior to the service at the church. Mr. Byram died Tuesday, September 6th at Coosa Valley Medical Center. He was the owner of B&W Auto Parts store, B&W Auto Parts, for some 43 years, and a deacon at Oak Grove First Baptist Church. Visitation will be tonight, 5 until 8, at Radley Smith Funeral Home. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at radleysmith.com, Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga, directing. Mr. William Reuben Robertson, age 95, of Sylacauga, died on Wednesday at his residence, Radley Smith Funeral Home, announcing. Celebration of life for Mr. Brian Isabel, age 48, of Anniston, is today at 1 o'clock from Word Live International Outreach, with Kent Maddox officiating. The family receiving friends from 11 until service time at the church. Mr. Isabel died September the 5th. And in lieu of flowers, donations can be made to the Friends of Brian Isabel Legacy Fund, which will be used for his children. Donations can be made directly to the GoFundMe at www.gofundme.com/Brian Isabel, or money can be taken to Word Alive International Outreach in Coldwater. Funeral service for Philip K. Marler, age 67, of Talladega, will be Friday at 11 a.m. from the Chapel of Ursery Funeral Home. Reverend Corey Burrell officiating. Burial in the Oak Hill Cemetery. The family receiving friends 5 until 7 o'clock tonight at the funeral home. Mr. Marler died September the 7th at his residence. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega, directing. Funeral service for Lorraine Frost Helia, age 82, will be Friday at noon from the Chapel of Kilgore Funeral Home in Pell City. Interment in the Macedonia North Cemetery in Vincent. The family will receive friends from 10:30 a.m. until noon at the funeral home. Mrs. Helia died Tuesday, September the 6th, and Kilgore Funeral Home, Pell City, directing. Virginia Jane Gaither Garing, aged 90, died Tuesday, September the 6th at the village of Cook Springs in Pell City. Ms. Garing was a long-time business person. She and her husband, Sheldon, were owners of Garing Typewriter Company, and later Garing Business Machines, where she was employed as owner and bookkeeper till she retired in 2008. A memorial service will be held Sunday, September the 11th at 1:30 from Thomas Auditorium of First Baptist Church in Talladega, with a visitation and reception to follow in the church fellowship hall. No graveside service, as Jane's final donation was to the UAB donor program. Donations can be made to the Lottie Moon offering to First Baptist Church of Talladega in memory of Jane Garing. You can send to First Baptist Church of Talladega, 216 North Street East, Talladega, Alabama, 35160. Funeral service for Mr. William Larry Hanson, age 72, of New Site, will be Friday at 11 o'clock from Rocky Creek Baptist Church. Randy Anderson officiating. Burial in the Hanson Family Cemetery. The family receiving friends tonight, 5 until 8 at the funeral home. Mr. Hanson died Tuesday, September 6th at Baptist Medical Center South in Montgomery. Radley Funeral Home in charge of the arrangements. Graveside service for Mr. Edward H. Collette, age 71, of Alexander City, will be Monday, September 12th in the Ashland City Cemetery at 10 a.m. The Reverend Donald DeLee will officiate. Mr. Collette died Wednesday, September 7th at Chapman's Healthcare Center. And in lieu of flowers, the family request donation be made to the Cancer Society of your choice. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Matthew Wyatt Cochran, age 24, of Madison, will be held Saturday, September 10th at 11 a.m. from First Baptist Church in Sylacauga, with Pastor John Dees of Cross Point Church in Madison, Alabama, officiating. Visitation 9:30 to 10:30 at First Baptist Church. Burial in the Odina Cemetery. Mr. Cochran died August 25th, and the family request in lieu of flowers that donations be made in Matthew's memory to the Lion-Hearted Foundation via the website lionheartedfoundation.com. Mary Alice Hagen, age 90, died September 4th at Sansing Country Home. Funeral service this morning at 11 o'clock from First United Methodist Church of Childersburg, with the Reverend Amy Parsons Vaughn officiating. Burial in the Green Hill Memorial Gardens of Childersburg. Skeleton Funeral Home of Reform, directing. Visitation 1 hour prior to the service at the church. Ms. Hagen was a retired teacher with the Talladega Board of Education. She taught second grade at A.H. Watwood Elementary for some 30 years. She was a member of the First United Methodist Church of Childersburg. Funeral service for Evelyn Parker, age 86, is today at 2 o'clock from Pleasant Sight Baptist Church, with interment in the adjoining cemetery. Kilgore Funeral Home, Pell City, directing. And funeral service for Mr. Homer Thomas Howard, age 82, of Alexander City, is today at 11 o'clock from Hillaby Baptist Church. Brother Josh Salmons officiating. Burial in the Hillview Memorial Park. Mr. Howard died Monday, September 5th at his residence. He was a Sunday school teacher and deacon at Hillaby Baptist Church, a former Gideon and member of the Civitan Club. The family will accept flowers or memorial contributions. Can be made to the Hillaby Baptist Church Capital Improvements Fund or to the Choir Fund, 1781 Hialeah Circle in Alexander City, 35010. Radley Funeral Home directing. We mentioned just a minute ago about Brian Isabel. Of course, Brian, one of the children of David and Juanelle Isabel. They're the music pastors down at the sanctuary, and our condolences to that family. And of course, Brian and his wife, Sandra, had 2 boys. And certainly our condolences to that family. Brian will be laid to rest today, and funeral service at 11 o'clock, celebration of life service at the Word Alive International Outreach with Kent Maddox will officiate that service. That's a look at obituaries this morning, brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361. Your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home for burials and cremations. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.